What's up, people? It's your boy, the kid. So I'm back from my ASVAB, right? I'll tell you how it went. Alright, so I walked in the door, walked through a metal detector. Actually, I stood in line. Went to the lady, took her my social security card, took her my ID. She then gave me a sticker with my name on it. States what branch of military you're going to, your last name, first name. Not sure what else is on there. I didn't really look at the whole thing. But after you get your name tag, she writes either you drove, which is a D. You got an R for recruiter. H is somebody from home that might have brushed you up here that you might need to call back to come get you. Me, I drove, so she put a D on mine. I sat down. I was talking to this guy going to the Army. He was first going to the Air Force, but you know, he said the recruiter sucked, kept losing all his papers and whatnot. So he's like, man, forget this, I'm gonna go to the Army. He was sitting there rapping about everything from A to Z to double A to double Z. Then once I sat down, they called my name again, and this time I got up and used my fingerprint. On this little machine, you put your finger down, you like kind of roll it towards the green arrow so it gets your whole fingerprint, and you basically use that to sign in and sign out no matter where you go. After that, she took my picture. I guess it's for security purposes because I never saw it, but took my picture. After she took my picture, I went to the back. In my maps, everything's on the same floor. I don't need to go up, down. It's all on the same floor. So I went down the hallway to the ASVAB testing center. Full room actually, maybe about 35 computers or so. I went to the guy, used my fingerprint again, the little scanner, signed in. He gave me a sheet of paper and a pencil for math. The test is actually 3 hours long. Believe it or not, it is actually 3 hours long. By the time I got to the 4th test, I'm thinking, man, I'm moving fast. But by the time I got to the 10th, it was 3 hours later. It's 10 sections. All right, so I don't have the sections, but it's everything. Even the auto shop and electronics information are together. Whichever two is together, they separate them. So it's now 10. The actual amount of questions in the practice test, those are the same amount of number of questions you will get on the ASVAB. You do get just enough time, if not just a little bit more, to finish each section. I took the computer adaptive test, which is the CAT, it's computer administrative. They give you a keyboard, it has no keys on it. It has an A, a B, a C, a D, and I think an E, I might not be right. The space bar, the enter, and then there's a red help button up at the top where the F1, F2, all those keys are. You can use those to answer, press A, press space bar and go to the next question, or you can use the mouse to actually click the letter, press the next button. As for me, the test, it wasn't easy, I can tell you that much. It was not easy, and I don't want anybody going to think, oh man, this test is super hard or this test is super easy, because it's really not either one. It's more or less what you know and what you don't know. And if you don't know most of the stuff, it's going to be extremely hard. Going into my senior year of college, it's been a while since I've seen most of that stuff. It's been a while. But I mean, I scored really good. Enough to get 90, 80, I mean like 90%, 85% of the jobs, one of the two, which is very good. My first belief when I got my score was, man, I suck, you know, this is horrible. I didn't do so well. But come to find out, the AFQT score is only to get you in the military. No matter what branch it is, whatever your number required low number is, whatever you get above that is just to get you in that branch. The ones that matter are your general, your electrical, your mechanical, and your administrative scores. The GAME or MAGE, whatever people want to say, it's all the same thing. Those scores are the ones that get you your jobs in the Air Force. Now, the jobs, they are ranked by aptitude by those 4. The number you have to have above will be listed. If you would like the list of current scores for the current jobs in the Air Force, inbox me. I have the entire list. So if you would like for me to email them to you or send them to you on Facebook or Twitter or send them back to you on YouTube or anything like that, let me know. Now, it's not 100% of the jobs. It's more like 90. The sheet I received, it's like the one they give you back in high school. Why? I don't know. But they have 2 different ones. But when you get your scores, it'll look just like this. It'll have Air Force career list for it. It'll have your last name. Then it'll have, based on your scores, mechanical, administrative, general, and electrical. And it'll give you a website. The usmilitary.about.com. That is a great website. It is not up to date, but it is the most up to date website there is that describes every job there is in the United States Air Force. If you have a job on this list, I would suggest that you go to that site and look it up, because I chose to take my ASVAB one day and then next week I was gonna go process. But that's all in another video. Basically, it has your Air Force specialty code right here on the left side. Then it has the list of the jobs, name of the jobs. Me, like I said, that's basically almost all the jobs there are in the Air Force. Granted, I didn't get all, but I got most. I'm just gonna name a few, I'm not gonna name a lot. Flight engineer, airborne mission system, tactical air command and control, space systems operations, intelligence applications, systems intelligence production, signal intelligence analysis. Pretty sure everyone gets pararescue, security forces, F-16 avionics systems, AC command, control, communication and navigation systems. They even have medical jobs that start at the force, health service management, diet therapy, surgical services, orthotic, optometry, regional band. They got a lot of stuff here that I'm pretty sure everyone will match up with. Even if you got the scores that I got, you should find a job that suits what you like to do, if not one more. Because when you go to MEPS, you want to have at least 20 jobs. Why? Because if you go to MEPS and you disqualify for something that's physical, and say one of these jobs on here is physical, you can't get the job. So it immediately cuts your job list in half. I would advise you to get 20 jobs because you need to have at least 10 when you go to MEPS. Get 20 jobs. That would be a very good thing, just in case something happens. And then if nothing happens, you're even more covered because now you can actually pick from the 20 to make out even more of a 10. So that's just my advice. You ain't gotta take it. You like, man, I don't want to pick 20 jobs. Hey. Okay. Basically, my experience at MEPS for taking the ASVAB, not for processing, it wasn't bad, actually. The test will test you. I've heard people get 81s and 87s on their AFQT. That's great. But if the job you want is not within your composite score or your aptitude score, that number does not matter. It doesn't. Now, I'm not trying to bring down anybody, not at all. But the score is just to get you in. Yeah, it gets you more jobs, but if it's not within your aptitude, it doesn't matter. That's just how the Air Force does it. That's how my ASVAB went. To study, I used countless numbers of practice tests online. Countless numbers. And those were a few tips. And one more thing. Good luck. Alright, so I forgot to mention, once you finish the ASVAB, there is another test. It is called the TAPAS. It is a personality test. It is also adaptive. It has 120 questions. They all have questions like, you have to pick the one out of the two that most match you. One may say, I insult people daily, and the other, I can't control my emotions under stress. Now me, it's neither one. But basically, you just gotta pick the one that's closer to you, because once you pick that answer, the next question adapts to what you just previously said. Now, those choices may come up again in other questions, but it won't be together again. And if it is, it's not a trick question for you to pick the same answer, make sure of consistency. It's to see how you act. Because they even ask questions about being yelled at, by taking direct orders, about being a leader, about taking the opportunity to be a leader, about fitness, eating correctly. It's all different types of questions. It's just to find out what type of person you are. And personally, I think the test is just to see who does what in what situation before you get the basic training, because I think somebody there down in Lackland Air Force Base may look at this test and say, oh, this is the type of guy, this is the type of female this person is. Let's see what we can test them on. I could be wrong, but that's just my personal opinion. But that is the last test, TAPAS. You can look it up on Google. Pretty sure it'll come up. If it doesn't, that would be very, very suspicious. Subscribe, comment, rate, share. Follow me on Twitter, kid_lyrics. Facebook, KID1807. Find me, friend me, follow me. Peace!